Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is directed by A.J. Bayona and features Chris Pratt. And I went to go see this movie about a month ago. So it's been a pretty long time, but I have seen this movie twice, and today I'm going to be giving my opinions on it. And oh boy, do we have some good ones today. Normally I start movies off with the bad, but I'm going to start off with the good this time, and you'll see why. The first compliment I can give this movie is this.
Let's check it out in slow motion.
The first compliment I can give this movie is just trying to have some dinosaur fun. This movie is not to be taken seriously. It's just trying to have fun with its characters and with its plot. Another thing about this movie is the first half of this movie takes place on the actual island of Jurassic World. You know, it's all abandoned and all the cages, no one's in their cages. Like, the first half of this movie was a lot more entertaining than the second half. The first half felt like a Jurassic Park movie, but it transitioned from that to the second half being a mansion, which I'm sure everybody knows by now the format of this movie. And another thing about this movie is in the first movie, I didn't really enjoy Owen and Claire's love relationship. It felt very cliched and dumb, and the love part of it isn't any better in Fallen Kingdom, but I feel like as characters they improved a lot in this movie and were a lot less annoying. I also really liked the Indo Raptor design in this movie. I don't know if it won up the Indominus, but I did really like the Indo Raptor in this movie. Lastly, the opening scene in this movie is amazing. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. And when I say the opening scene, I'm talking about the part where they get the submarine, take the Indominus bone, and then try to escape the island, but of course they get attacked by dinosaurs. That opening scene was really good and I really enjoyed it. This movie is definitely worth seeing. I did enjoy myself when I watched this movie. I did like this movie, and I thought it was a good entry into the Jurassic Park series, but it did have its issues. First off, I just want to start off with the fact that the second half of this movie was garbage. The entire second half of this movie, nothing was accomplished. The entire second half of the movie is literally Chris Pratt running around. That's literally the entire second half of the movie. And nothing is accomplished in the second half other than the sale, because the entire plot of this movie is they try to get the dinosaurs off the island so they can bring them to this mansion to sell them. And the selling part was okay, but nothing was accomplished in this second half of film. And also the bad guy in this what the freak was that? Also, the bad guy in this movie was he didn't feel like he was done right. And I don't mean like he wasn't done justice, but he wasn't done right. Like, literally in the beginning of this movie, he was completely innocent. Like, it didn't feel like he was doing anything wrong. He was just trying to get the dinosaurs off the island. But then, literally, with, the snap of a finger... Actually, the snap of a finger got half of the universe killed, but that's not the point of this video. Literally, with the snap of the fingers, he sold the Indo Raptor. He killed a man. Like, he didn't feel like a bad guy until just out of nowhere he literally goes and murders someone. I said earlier I liked the Indo Raptor, but one of the issues I had with the Indo Raptor was the way it was released. The way it was released was really, really dumb. Basically what happened is this guy, he collects teeth off of dinosaurs. Like, earlier in the movie he collected a tooth off of, I think it was the Stegosaurus, and then later in the movie he tried to get one off of the Indo Raptor. And of course, he tranked them, opened up the cage, got killed, and the raptor escaped. That is literally the most simple sentence ever. The way he was released was really dumb. I felt like they could have gotten a little more creative with it. Because, this Indo Raptor, he's basically a genius. I mean, he's a dinosaur hybrid that can probably outthink a human. So, I mean, they could have come up with something on the way they let this dinosaur out, but it was a complete missed opportunity. And also, the way the Indo Raptor died, they foreshadowed way too much in this movie. Basically, he fell through this glass and he went on the giant Triceratops tooth thing, which is also a direct ripoff from The Lost World when the girl kicks the raptor into the spikes. I don't know if it was a direct ripoff, but it was definitely a ripoff of The Lost World. And that's another one of the issues I had with this movie. This movie ripped off previous Jurassic Parks way too much. For example, the first Jurassic Park, the scene where all the raptors are in the kitchen, that scene was amazing, by the way, with the kids. And if you remember, there was a scene where the kid was in the, like the stove thing or whatever, and he was trying to pull it down while the raptor was running towards her. That scene is directly ripped off in this movie, and it is, and I say directly because it is very literally ripped off in this movie. Basically, I think it's the Indo Raptor. The Indo Raptor sees the girl. Her name is Maisie in this movie. She's annoying as freak in this movie, by the way. But her name is Maisie. The Indo Raptor chases her, and she's in a dumbwaiter trying to pull the thing down, which is a direct ripoff from the first Jurassic Park. Oh boy. And last but not least in this movie, when Claire was about to press the button to release the dinosaurs, and then she closed the glass and decided not to, this was literally me in the theater. Oh, thank God she didn't do that. That would have been so dumb. This movie, that would have just been like some dumb way for them to make a sequel to this movie. That would have been so dumb if she released all the dinosaurs and screwed over all of humanity. And I was so relieved when she didn't press the button.
I think I speak for all those girls when I say, ew!
And then this little she walks over and presses the button and releases all the dinosaurs. Like, what the actual And the worst part is her only response or explanation is, they're alive, just like me. I'm done. Like, are you serious? Like, that, of all the things in this movie, that pissed me off the most in this movie. Are you serious? You basically killed millions of people and could have possibly, I mean, it's not like a whole brigade of dinosaurs, but you could have killed possibly thousands or hundreds of thousands, and your response is, they're alive, just like me. Are you, like, come on. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention is there's a scene where Chris Pratt is with the girl and they're being attacked by the Indo Raptor. And there's two issues I have with this scene, okay? Number one, Claire points the weapon directly at Chris Pratt, and there is no real reason why she would do that. Other than, like, Chris Pratt does, like, this cool slide move, but there's no real reason that this should happen. And also, Blue just keeps coming to the rescue in this second half. Every time one of the main characters is about to die, Blue is just like, what's up, suckers? What's up, suckers? Calm down. It's just a movie. Also, Chris Pratt, he slips, grabs onto this wet pole, and holds onto the girl at the same time. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for action movie logic. Like, I don't look too far into it because I know it's going to be ridiculous. But come on, how are you going to hang on to a wet pole and hang on to a girl at the same time and still hang on? Overall, this movie was okay. If I had to give it a grade, it would definitely be a 7 out of 10 or medium sauce. This movie wasn't horrible, but it had very, very glaring issues. So this movie definitely gets the medium sauce rating. If you like this review, go check out my other reviews or my Flash or Black Lightning edits. And that's going to be it for me. Till next time.